I'm going out to fish. What more natural words could there be for a fisherman than that? I'm going out to fish. Where are you going? I'm going out to fish. All right, we'll go with you, said 6 of this fisherman's friends. So off they go, they fish all night. Do you know what they catch? They catch nothing. Zilch. Not even so much as a sardine, let alone a decent sized fish. When a fisherman has caught nothing, it's always a very short conversation. What have you caught? Nothing. How many did you catch today? None. What have you got in your net? Water. So this particular morning, there's a bloke on the side of the lake, and he sees these 7 guys, and he asks this dangerous question. Friends, haven't you any fish? He calls out. Do you know what answer he got? No. That's it. You see what I mean about a short conversation with fishermen who've caught nothing? The lead fisherman in the boat that night was a man named Simon Peter. I wonder what state of mind would you think he's in? Well, you might say to yourself, he's obviously fed up because he's got no fish. But he was in absolute mental chaos. He was absolutely distraught. And that's why he'd gone back fishing. Recently in a sermon, Pete said that a man without a purpose always returns to his past. That statement will be true 200 years from now. It's true today, and it was true 2,000 years ago. 3 years Simon Peter had been with Jesus, a man he loved and who loved him. And how had it all ended? Totally denying that he knew him. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. The man he'd loved, the man he said, I'd die for, had died for him on a cross. A cross, the worst possible place for a Jew to die. His future that night was shattered. No hope, no purpose, no meaning, no vision. What does he do? He goes fishing. He goes back to the past. That was all he could cling to. Bit strange it should come to that, wasn't it? Because 3 years ago, that's how it had all started. And that night he'd caught nothing either. Then a man said, put out your nets into deep water for a catch. And they had a catch. And it was so big that they were astonished. And the man giving the command said to Simon Peter, from now on, you'll catch men. Here we are again, 3 years on, and a man says, throw your net out onto the right side of the boat and you'll find some. Boy, did they find some, 153 large ones. So many that the nets were breaking. What happens next to me is utterly amazing. I've spent 30 years connected with the hospitality industry, and never in the tens of thousands of meals that I've been involved in preparing and serving has there ever been a meal demonstrating such amazing, amazing grace as the one that follows next. Because there on the shore, the man who had turned his back on Jesus is invited to have breakfast. That meal would utterly transform his life. But I want to say 2 quick things about it. Firstly, Jesus had to show him nothing before he could fill his nets. He has to show us nothing in our lives sometimes before we can move on. We will have nothing to show without Christ. Without me, Jesus said, you can do nothing. And secondly, he pulled a handbrake on Simon Peter's idea of what his future life was going to look like. Because Jesus in that first time had said that he will teach him to fish for men. He'd given him a simple career path. What had Peter said? I'm going out to fish. What did Jesus say? No, you're not. You're going out to fish for men. I wonder if any of you this morning feel that way. You feel down. Perhaps you've let Jesus down, as we all do so many times. Well, don't give up, because Jesus is there, and he will be there, because his promise is never to leave us nor forsake us. I wonder if you look at the net of your life and see no real fruit, no real fish. Well, take heart, because Jesus sometimes needs to expose our nothingness before he can move us on with his purpose.